Welcome to another Spiritual Awakening with yours truly, Dr. A.G. Green Sr. Come on into this digital conclave, even this spiritual assembly, this gathering of sorts. You know what to do when you come in. Tag and share, share and tag. And make sure you speak to those who are on tonight, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. Tag, share and text, share and tag, and greet each other. Blessings, Linda. See you, my powerful niece, Hillary. Thank you for sharing. Let's prepare, evolve, transform, and ascend. So glad, so honored, so privileged to be with you all on today. Love in my heart for you. Good evening to you, sir, as well. That's right, we're vibing with our tribe tonight. Vibing with our tribe. Got some wonderful things I want to share with you. Let's pray. Almighty, we're so thankful and grateful. This is a grand occasion for us. And we are so appreciative that we have these moments with you. Let grace be evident. Let knowledge exist in abundance. Let there be an absorption so there might be application from the revelation. And we thank you for the powerful demonstrative manifestation. We bless you. In Yeshua's name, his power, his consciousness, and his way. It is so, and so it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see everybody on. Again, continue to tag and share and tag. Let's see, we got another one who shared. Thank you so much. And look like I can be heard and seen well. Thank you for the feedback on the audio and visuals. I hope y'all doing good. If not, let's make it better. Let's make it better. Matter of fact, type it in the comment section, hashtag let's make it better. Come on, type it in the comment section, hashtag let's make it better. Type that in the comment section. If it's not what we want it to be, let's make it better. Now to him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think according to the power that worketh in him. We are powerful offspring of a wonderful divine creator. And I want you to quickly type in the comment section and speak it out loud. I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. I am powerful. Come on, own the power, recognize the power, live the power, breathe the power, humbly exercise the power. You're not some creature who is powerless. You're not some insignificant being. You are a spiritual being of a divine class and order. And I want you to learn how to own that power as often as possible, for you are one with the Creator and the Creator is one with you. And this power is for us to utilize and exercise in both our spiritual, mental, and physical experiences. That's it. That's it. I am powerful. The scripture says death and life is in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Even when you speak, things happen. Even when you speak with conviction and faith, things change. Recognize the power, own the power, and live the power. So glad to be on with you tonight. Don't forget to follow me at the various social media sites that you see at the bottom of the screen: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Make sure you give likes and hearts and continue to encourage people as they come in to share and greet new people as you see them pop up in the stream. Again, it's so good to see you on tonight. And I've got some wonderful things I want to share with you. Don't forget to visit me at theaggreen.com. That's theaggreen.com. Check up on the latest happenings, what we're doing here. And should you ever want prayer, anything like that, you can go to divinespeciesshop.com. That's divinespeciesshop.com. And if by chance you're not at least a free member yet, go to patreon.com/aggreen now and join Patreon. You can download it in the community and simply trace us from there. Again, I am excited and delighted to be with you. But let me check up on you real quickly. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Tell me how your week has been going thus far in your own language, in your own words. It's a purely subjective experience. I want to know, how is your week going thus far? We're checking in with you because I am keenly interested in what happens in your life. So quickly, how's your week going thus far? This is midweek for those who are watching us live. And even if you're watching in replay, I get the notifications. I want to hear what's good with you and how your week is going thus far. Mine actually was challenging, but I'm experiencing some breakthrough and some strength and some empowerment. And I, of course, am always thankful and grateful. Anybody else want to tell me how your week is going thus far? It's in your own words. This is a no judgment zone here. We're not here to judge you. We're here to support you I'm just checking in on you to see how you're doing. How you're doing. Don't everybody jump in at once. I'm waiting on somebody to tell me. I have shared mine with you. Now, would you please share yours with me? How your week is going thus far. Let's see here. They all coming in at once. My week is great, says Linda. Thank you so much. A resident therapist, Pastor Cotton, says, it's been fantastic. He's grateful for life and those he loves. See, Miss Hillary says, woo, it's hard days, but last night before I went to bed, I released the weight and was determined for today to be a better day. I set specific intentions last night, and today's been better. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And then my Krista says, week has been going okay and making it better. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank y'all so much for sharing how your week has been going thus far. Now, I do want to remind you, that uh, as this is streaming live, we are in the midst of what's called the Lionsgate portal, which is going to peak in a couple of days on the 8th, but it goes all the way up through the 12th. Now, I know that some of us are from communities where we don't, people are from communities where they don't keep up with portals. They don't think the astronomical or even the astrological has anything to do with them. And it's usually, that belief is usually shaped by a religious system and their interpretation of their ancient texts. But I have written a blog series on the Lionsgate portal to help those who have interest to know and understand what it is and how to connect with it. The articles do, I think, a good job of explaining what the portal is and how it does impact us energetically. And of course, some of the spiritual roots, the spiritual practices that occur or take place during this time of year. It's not anything evil, it's not anything demonic. And I want you to take some time and read the articles. I quickly want to know from those who are watching me right now, and even if you come by and replay, I'm asking you the same question. Who's read the article thus far, and what do you think? Who's read the articles? Matter of fact, today, the fourth article I think went up today. I wrote 4 articles, and I wanted to write them enough in advance for people to be able to take advantage of the portal while it's open and use some of those suggested exercises or suggestive exercises. Again, some of the things I mentioned there is from research as to, at the end of the articles, what people do to connect. So you might not be familiar with those things. You might not want to, that's fine. That was a part of my research. And I just wanted to share it in case people want to tap in that way. And there's some things that people think are off limits that I'm going to have more discussions with you about uh, when we go behind uh, the Patreon wall. And that's going to happen in about a month or so from now. I'll be keeping you updated on that. Let's see. He says, I've read it. It's mind blowing, extremely practical advice. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Let's see. She says, I have not read them all, but it's on my to do list before the 8th. Wonderful. And let me ask you all this. Do you get notifications? Are you getting notifications by email when activity takes place in Patreon? I want to know that because I did say I was going to do a video on the portal, and I'm going to do that video on the portal. That's if you have a genuine interest, but more importantly, I want to make sure that when we go live from Patreon, that you're getting some kind of notification, at least by email. And again, I'm still working on putting together a text service where you can get text messages every time I go live, because I know sometimes people aren't seeing the notifications even on Facebook when I go live. Okay, let's see here. All right, my Krista says I get notifications. All right, great. And Hillary says, would like a video. Yes, I get email notifications. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Okay. And he says, email and iPhone notifications. That's right. Good. That's good. That's good. Do you have the app? Is you have the app, Pastor Cotton? Do you have the app? Is that what you have? Naturally, I get an email notification, uh, being the manager of the account, and I have the app on my phone. I want to see. Okay, yes, he's got the app. So listen, I'm glad he said that. If you have the Patreon app, you will get notifications whenever I post, whenever anything shows up in Patreon. Okay. Let me ask you who has the app, because I'm trying to prepare us now, and I'm gonna get into my teaching in a few minutes, but I'm trying to prepare us now because we're going to be moving a large part of our programming behind in Patreon on free and paid tiers. And I want you to know when something is posted, or I want you to know when I go live. So in addition to that email notification, you will get a notification from your phone if you have the app and you have the notifications turned on for Patreon. All right. Who has the Patreon app besides our resident therapist, Jerry Cotton? Who has the Patreon app? Yes or no? Who has it? Yes or no? And if you don't have it, family, download it tonight. Okay. Download it tonight. And so again, we are preparing to move a large part of our teaching and programming. I'm going to add some new stuff, some deeper stuff, some more controversial stuff, some more stuff that's out of your religious box. Okay. I'm going to be adding it in the next month or so. Okay. She's downloading it now. And Miss Krista says, yes, she has it. My Krista has it. So, all right. And anybody else who wants to just download it, find our community and tap in there. Okay. Thank you so much. Now, our resident therapist is going to keep track of the installments here. We're going to start a series on synchronicities. And I want you to understand that as I'm talking about faith on Sundays, synchronicities and faith are connected, they are related. And we'll see how in the upcoming weeks how they are connected. And I'll just say this in a nutshell. As you're thinking, imagining, and speaking, you're automatically impacting the universe. And at the same time, within the framework of that thinking is belief. Within the framework of your spirituality and your mentality, when you decide to exert and exercise faith, that's also released. Okay. There's going to be a subsequent action behind that. The church world calls it confirmation. Okay. The spiritual world at large calls it synchronicities. They're not 100% the same, but they're pretty much the same. Okay. And so I wrote an article on it weeks ago. If you haven't read it, go there, because that's what I'm teaching from. It is Carl Jung who is the person who came up with the term synchronicities. And I love me some Carl Jung. Some call him the protege of, what's his name, Jerry? The protege of the great psychologist. I don't know why my mind just did that, as good as my memory is. Sigmund Freud. It came to me. Sigmund Freud, the protege of Sigmund Freud, was definitely uh, a friend. Historically, they've met and had several conversations, end up falling out because of some disagreements. But nevertheless, Carl Jung is a brilliant psychologist, but also metaphysicist. He says synchronicity is an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see, end quote. The great writer and philosopher Rumi says, the universe is not outside of you. Look inside yourself. Everything that you want, you already are. Oh my goodness. Man, it's just so wonderfully, wonderfully uh, powerful. Let me put up the two quotes in case you can't tell. I love quotes. I don't post on my personal Facebook page much, but when I do, there's usually a quote attached to it. Let's see his quote on synchronicities. We'll put up some more quotes from him as well. And then I'm going to follow behind that with the quote from Rumi. I have taught you that you are not merely flesh and blood. The real you is spirit. The real you, I believe, doesn't even live here. The real you, the real me, the real us, I believe is projecting from another dimension, more likely what we might consider to be the spiritual dimension. Rumi says the universe is not outside of you. Look inside yourself. Everything that you want, you already are. My goodness. Everything that you want, you already are. Isn't that powerful? Almost everything that you want, you already are. I'm going to say it again. Everything that you want, you already are. I am still grappling with all of that myself, but it never ceases to amaze me that every time I shift, every time I focus, every time I effectively pray or meditate and then know how to detach from it, it comes from inside of me to the outside, what we consider to be the external world. All right. It's already in us, family. It's already in us. I know we think we got to get it from other places and other things, so forth and so on, but it's already in you. And let me break that down. It's not a part of my, my teaching plan tonight, but when you read and learn and grow and develop knowledge, the ability to utilize that knowledge, family, comes from within you. Yes, you will get advice. We get advice from other people. We get support from other people. Positively, absolutely. I broke the word up. We do. They influence us. They inspire us. They help shift us. But the shifting takes place because we receive the information. The shifting takes place because we accept the guidance. The shifting takes place because we absorb the knowledge and apply it. The shifting takes place because we follow up that knowledge with a corresponding action. So it's emanating, family, from within us. Again, as you think of it, it's heart, so is he. You are what you think, right? And what you think is transmitting into the world, and the world is reflecting back at you who and what you are. And that's why when I discovered this, I've just learned to take the onus of responsibility of my life personally. I place it on me, okay, and not on anybody else. So I want you to understand that these synchronicities are all around us. And I mentioned in the blog article, and I can use numerous things as examples. Have you ever thought about somebody and they text or called you? Or were you ever in a conversation with somebody about somebody maybe you hadn't talked to in a while, or just somebody in general? Next thing you know, your phone, you got a text message on your phone, or you got a phone call, or you got an email. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever had a conversation with somebody about something that you needed, in your life? And you then begin to realize that you stumbled across the answer in an article, you stumble across the answer in the grocery store, just talking to a friend. When I say stumble, you literally got the answer minutes later, hours later, days later. Has it ever happened? That's what they call a synchronicity. And I'm going to break down to you what it is. Okay. Uh, but I want you to quickly, if you don't mind, because we're in class, if you don't mind, would you share some of your personal synchronicities, things that stood out to you, that happened to you, that is a synchronicity? Again, the church world calls it confirmation, but I'm going to give you more definition about that. But synchronicities are real. And I love that a high powered intellectual like Carl Jung, who embraced spirituality, coined this term. I love that. because it says to us that a towering intellect is open to this reality and the possibility and potentiality of this reality, and has followed it up with some research to believe that it is actually something that exists, which I do. But if you don't mind, in the comment section, can you briefly share maybe a synchronicity that has happened to you? Do you mind? Do a few of y'all mind sharing that? Any synchronicities that happened to you? Have you ever, been thinking about that you needed, uh, to get your car fixed, and all of a sudden, days later, you ran into somebody who fixes cars or know somebody who fixes cars, and they can do it at a discount? That's what you call a synchronicity. You were thinking it or imagining it, believing it, speaking about it, and then it pops up in your world. Let's see here. Hillary says, one of many. I was thinking about how I knew I needed to reach out to my amazing uncle one day, and you text me. Oh, look at you. You are biased. You're biased. Thank you so much. Yes, that is a synchronicity. Anybody else want to share? Let's see. She's got another one. She says, I needed new pots and pans and walked into Walmart and they were on sale. Okay. There we go. That's good. That's good. See, my Krista says, thought about my daughter's school supply list. My mom texts me later in the day saying she purchased all items on the list. Absolutely. Absolutely. Another synchronicity. Thank you all so much. So they happen to you every day, family. Maybe I shouldn't say every day. They happen often. They happen to many of us daily. And I'm going to paraphrase that. They are happening every day. And we're going to discuss in this teaching how we need to make ourselves more aware of these things that are happening all around us. I call them winks from a living, responsive universe. They are synchronicities, signs that your inner world and outer world are connected and dancing together. So we're going to step into this wonderful dimension that where there is intention, emotion, and unseen forces that help to weave our reality. I want to say this, that sometimes the language of synchronicity is subtle, but once you learn to see it, you realize you are never alone. You are never unheard. I'm going to say that again. You are never alone. You are never unheard. Now, a lot of this stuff we're giving credit to the Almighty Creator for. Again, dumbing down our power, our authority, our ability. Secondly, not understanding that there is a conscious world, a conscious universe filled with the DNA and the energy of the Creator itself. Again, subatomic particles responding to intention in the double slit experiment. Plants and trees responding to people talking to them, either growing when positive things are said or dying when negative things are said. Water in studies having obscenity shouted to it, hate shouted to it. And when they froze that particular water, it was dark looking. The cells went dark that make up the water. But when they spoke love and other things, they were bright and light and looked like a crystalline structure. Am I making any sense to anybody here? So I want you to know and understand that everything in this universe is listening to you. I want you to hear me again. It is listening to you. Those few examples I gave you from botany and even as it relates to biology, your body responds to what you say to it. Your body responds to what you're thinking about it. Your body responds to whatever conditions you say that it has or doesn't have. It is you listening to you. Y'all quiet. I don't see no likes and hearts. Okay. So I want you to know that you are never alone. You are never unheard. Did I make that point plain enough? This is why the energy that you're constantly transmitting and emitting, and the thoughts that you're thinking and the words that's coming out of your mouth, family, are being collected in every moment. because you're interfacing with an organic construct. You're interfacing with a spiritual and an organic live construct. Make no bones about it. When I talk about the three-dimensional, it is still a live construct, hear me, that was created by something superior to it, that was created by the spiritual, that made it physical material or physical matter. So it is alive. Everything on this planet, including rocks, are alive. If you chip off a rock and put it under a microscope, a powerful microscope can see the cells in that rock. Am I making any sense? So I want you to understand, again, just like you can talk to plants and they die, or plants and they live based on what you say to them. That's just a small example. What is that saying? The plant is listening. The plant has enough life. It's not sentient like you are, but it has consciousness on a level where it responds, watch this, your words, which are made up of what? Energy, frequency, and vibration. Negative words, just like negative thoughts, sends out a vibration that's different from positive words and positive thoughts. Again, and everything in the universe, all right, that's close to you. And then, of course, the mastermind who created the universe, the creator itself, is sensitive, family. It's connected to you, what you say and what you do. All right. So synchronicity is a term, again, coined by Swiss psychologist Carl Jung to describe meaningful coincidences that cannot be explained by cause and effect. Events that are connected not by mechanism, but by meaning. Again, events that are not connected, excuse me, that are connected not by mechanism, but by meaning. I'm going to say it again. Events that are connected not by mechanism, but by meaning. And here's his definition from Synchronicity and a Causal Connecting Principle, 1952. He says, a meaningful coincidence of two or more events where something other than probability is involved, end quote. So some examples I use in the blog are dreaming of a bird and seeing the same bird in an unusual way the next day, or thinking about a specific problem and overhearing a stranger speak the perfect solution, synchronicity, meaning the exact person you needed to meet, as we would say, by chance, family, synchronicities. Okay. Now, in the ancient world, up until this day, from a spiritual standpoint, synchronicities are signs from a higher intelligence, whether it be God, the universe, spirit guides, or one's higher self, which is your spiritual self. The church world calls it the spiritual man. They're often viewed as confirmation of alignment with a soul path or spiritual purpose. We'll get into this a little bit later, but sometimes messages we believe come from the spirit come in the form of numbers. Okay. Again, theomatics is a biblical, a Christian term, excuse me, but angel numbers is a spiritual term, like 1111, like 555, like 222 or 2222. And there are different variations of numbers. Okay. These are considered to be synchronicities. Dreams, repeating symbols are seen as divine communication. Also, divine timing. Events occur not randomly, but in perfect timing for the soul's growth. Okay. I love the quote again from Jung, who says synchronicity is the coming together of inner and outer events in a way that cannot be explained by cause and effect, that is meaningful to the observer. All right. Let me pause here because I said quite a bit right there. All right. Anybody ever seen repeating numbers or repeating patterns of numbers? Talk back to me. Anybody seen any repeating patterns of numbers in your life? So have you been in a conversation about something and you looked up and there was an angel number, or there was 11 is like a master number. 22 is I don't want to get into the master number. But anyway, you looked up and there was like all fours on the clock, or all twos on the clock, or all ones on the clock, or whatever. Has that ever happened to you before? Has that ever happened to you before? And did you go and look up what those numbers could mean? Did you take a chance to check out what those numbers could mean? Let's see if anybody else. I'm going to be the first one to say yes. It happens to me pretty much every day, family. Now, pretty much every day. I told you all. I think it was 2023. I start seeing the number 4 in 2023. Okay, and I will eventually do some teaching on these numbers. In 2024, it was on, and ever since then, I see varying patterns of numbers, various sequences, excuse me, of numbers that I take as divine messages, especially when I've gone and looked up the definition. It's like what I was just discussing, or what I was just desiring, or what I was just emphasizing, or what I was just thinking about. The answer was in the pattern of numbers when I looked up the definition. Do you think that was a coincidence? I don't think so. Let's see, we've got another one. Said, yes, I see it all the time. The time I discovered it, I'm a master number. There it is. Okay. So you've experienced these things. Sometimes people try and explain them away, family, but they can't be explained away. A couple more quotes. A Course in Miracles, which is a wonderfully profound book, says that Synchronicities emphasizes that nothing is accidental. Everything is a part of a larger divine curriculum. And Deepak Chopra says synchronicity is choreographed by a great pervasive intelligence that lies at the heart of nature and is manifest in each of us through intuitive knowledge, end quote, from the spontaneous fulfillment of desire. All right. So it is what some consider to be a meaningful coincidence, according to Jung. And Jung connected these to archetypes and the collective consciousness, suggesting, or unconsciousness, excuse me, or unconscious, suggesting that the psyche interacts with reality through symbolic resonance. Again, this is a psychologist talking about this stuff in the 50s. The psychologist, it just amazes me. Modern psychology has a belief that it could be related to confirmation bias, pattern recognition, or apophenia, seeing patterns in randomness. But research into flow states and peak experiences, according to Maslow and his partner, shows that high consciousness states often include synchronistic events. I'm going to say it again. High consciousness states, okay, high consciousness states often include synchronistic events. Let me break that down. People who are in touch with themselves as spirit beings and in touch with the spiritual dimension, watch this, and in touch with eternity, in touch with things that are non-local and non-physical, meaning that they maintain a strong awareness of the spiritual dimension and the spiritual realm, are going to be more likely to see synchronicities. They are open to it, all right? And because they are open to it, they are constantly transmitting a belief outside of them. Again, transmitting outside of them as a spirit being. Again, remember, as a spirit being who possesses a soul and lives in a body, our thoughts, remember, impact, I've shown you this, impact physical reality, impact the life that you're living right now. But not everybody is in tune with these things that I'm discussing with you now. And the more in tune you are with these things, family, the more you're going to begin to see answers sometimes come to you in the form of numbers or number patterns, family, which are synchronistic. My goodness. They are synchronistic. Am I making any sense to anybody? Okay. So these are not random, family. They are reflections of your inner state mirrored in the tapestry of life. Let's talk a little bit more about the inner and outer. The inner and outer, and I'm going to find a good place to stop here. I'm going to eventually, let's see, uh, eventually get to some metaphysical and energy and things like that, but not in this presentation. But let's talk a little bit about the inner and outer. Jung proposed that both the psyche, inner world, and matter, outer world, emerge from a deeper, unified reality he called unus mundus, the one world. Now, listen, I'm not saying I agree with his term, unus mundus, but the one world he's talking about basically is consciousness. Consciousness. And consciousness has been a phenomenon for centuries. Man is trying to understand what consciousness is. And now there's more and more information that is emerging in the present to align with spiritual teachers in the past, uh, that is informing us and making us more aware by the year that consciousness is not just physical. Consciousness is outside of us. Consciousness is outside of this physical dimension, meaning that consciousness most likely is going to happen in the spiritual dimension or in what they call subconscious, unconscious, which I still believe is the spiritual or part of the spiritual aspect of us, that it is a part of you as a spirit being. I don't want to get into that tonight because I believe that your mind is immaterial, incorporeal, that's a part of your spirit, gives instructions to the brain, which itself is an intellectual organism or intellectual machine, not just intellectual, a biological machine that in itself has its own consciousness, all right, that controls this physical body, this physical apparatus, this physical machinery, this physical earth suit we call the body. All right. So I want you to recognize and understand that everything somehow, I believe, is interconnected. I really, really believe that. I believe I understand why people can read minds. I understand why people can feel each other's emotions. All right. I understand why people who have never met each other in person within a few minutes can link and know things about each other because everything is connected. So, dreams and events, thoughts and circumstances, emotions and encounters, Carl Jung believed, are all threads of the same living fabric. My goodness. My goodness. When your inner reality shifts through belief, feeling, intuition, the outer world responds often through synchronicity. Okay. So when we shift, like when you shift your thinking, family, the world outside of you shifts with you. Just stay persistent in that thinking, persistent in that new flow of thinking or that evolved you or the evolved intellect or the evolved mindset that you're installing every day. You may not see the synchronicities or the confirmations initially, but keep persisting in that new state of consciousness. And you're going to start seeing things line up with your new state of being and your new state of consciousness. Have you ever said something like, said something to the effect, say you said that I am just a high value, high class person. I am spending time with God. I'm spending time in studying research. I'm spending time in prayer and meditation. I'm spending time disciplining my mind. Watch this, so I can manifest a better version of me that is of a higher class. And then you go to the internet and they're talking about a higher class of person and a more evolved being. Or then you're just having a conversation with somebody and it rolls off their tongue so effortlessly. That's a synchronicity for you. You never had a conversation with that person, just like you never had a conversation with the person who wrote the article that you discovered that mentioned almost the exact same language, at times the exact same thing you were thinking about. Hear me, it's a confirmation to you that it's working. It's a confirmation to you that you're on the right track. Am I making any sense today? It is there to support you, to help you to realize that This new state that you're shifting to is welcome. This new state you're shifting to, the creator, source, sustainer, and this whole universe hears you, knows you, and is willing to cooperate with you in shifting to this dimension and shifting into this place. Wow, I just felt that one. Did that make sense? I don't see no likes and hearts. Did that make sense? Did that make sense to anybody? We'll talk about the quantum field next week. But did that make sense? Did that make sense? So I want you to open yourselves up to know and believe that you are supported in what you do. Now, hear me. Can we use this for non-beneficial reasons? Absolutely. But I encourage you to use it for good stuff. But I'm just saying, you're going to, this is what I want to say to you. This is what I want to say to you. I always like to give you both sides of the coin. You can get a synchronicity in a positive sense or a negative sense. Watch this. You can get a synchronicity if you've gone too far to the left to tell you to come back right. Watch this. Or you can also get a synchronicity to show you that you've gone far left, confirming that, yep, you far to the left or you far to the right. Hear what I'm saying? But when we learn how to understand how everything is interconnected, okay, everything is interconnected, then we'll recognize that the spiritual, the creator, is listening at all times. And this conscious universe is listening at all times. And it holds the answers to what the conscious mind does not know. It holds the answers to what the finite intellectualism of our species does not have or does not know. These are things to confirm, number one, interconnectedness. Number two, when you're on the right path or when you're on the wrong path. And I'm encouraging you to open yourselves up because it's not coincidental. I'm going to say it again. It's not coincidental. You are seeing it for a reason. Hear me. If you start talking about improving your finances and things start popping up in your world about changing your finances, about improving your finances, or about financial opportunities, family, that's a synchronicity. Many times we haven't even prayed about certain things. We're just talking about them, and then the answer starts popping up, or road is starting to be paved in front of us or revealed in front of us, how to get us to that place. That is a synchronicity, family. So what happens is, this is what I'm going to say, and I'm going to be finished in the next few minutes. When you see a synchronicity, family, that's not the time to quit. That's not the time to shut it down. Come on now. That's the time to continue to be consistently persistent in the thing that you are looking for the solution for, looking to manifest, looking for an answer. When the synchronicity pops up, it's a way of saying you've been heard. It's a way of saying you're on the right track. Hear what I'm saying today. If a person wants to go to college and get a degree and they say, I don't know how to pay for it, then you prayed or you meditated, or sometimes you just thought about it. And all of a sudden, all kinds of information starts popping up in your world about scholarships and grants and how to go to school for free. Or a job pops up that says, we'll pay for your education. Family, that's not the time to be talking about, is this the will of God? Scratching your head talking about, is this God talking to me? Is this what I'm supposed to do? Or is this the devil trying to dupe me and deceive me? No. This is your powerful interaction with the creator, your powerful interaction with this conscious universe that's talking back to you and say, here are the solutions. Pick one. Or saying, here are the solutions. Take door number one instead of door number three. It's saying to you, what you desire already exists. What you desire is already provided. What you desire is already available to you. Hear what I'm saying today. I've been in situations where I was desiring resources or praying for resources, and somebody would text me or somebody would call me, Watch this, or I get an inkling to just pick up the phone and talk to somebody and reach out to somebody. Or sometimes I'm in a conversation, we just talking about something else, and they start talking about something that happened in their life, or they knew that happened in somebody else's life that was just the answer I needed for my situation. Do you think that that was non-coincidental? Do you think that that was haphazardly constructed? Do you think that one doesn't have anything to do with the other? No, they're interconnected. That's the answer right there. You've been heard. Am I making any sense, family? Talk back to me. Y'all quiet. Talk back to me. Whether it's in the form of dreams and events, whether it's in the form of thoughts and circumstances, whether it's in the form of emotions and encounters, whether it's in the form of numbers, synchronicities, or like divine messages from the creator, from the source and the sustainer, that you have been heard. There are also responses at many times to provide you with guidance. I want you to hear what I'm saying. I've shared this testimony before. I'm going to share it again. Years ago, somebody came, we were talking, and they were talking about their job, and they were saying that they didn't know if they should stay. They had another opportunity, and they wanted to move it up higher in the management, so forth and so on. And they were like, they didn't know if they should stay or whatever. And I said, you know, I still operate in the prophetic, but that was really my thing back then. Prophetic word, wisdom, knowledge, what's called in biblical text. And I said to him, you're going to dream about your answer. He said, what? I said, you're going to dream about your answer. He went to bed that night and dreamed. In the dream, he saw a big sign of where he was working. A big old sign in the dream of where he was working. It happened that night or the next night, sometime after that. That was his answer. That was what we call a synchronicity. In the Christian world, they call it a confirmation. But what was revealed to him in the dream was where he was supposed to be in that particular season of his life. He ended up staying, I think, taking the promotion, whatever, so forth and so on. I think he became one of the first black assistant managers, wherever he was working at the time of a particular restaurant. These are the things that happen. These are called synchronicities. Okay? So you got to know that when a message is coming to you, to guide you, to lead you, to instruct you, to advise you. And again, I'm gonna say this, and I'm done. Stop asking the creator, stop asking God for answers that have already been revealed through synchronicities and confirmations. Why? Why are you back again 10 times with your powerful self? Hear what I'm saying today? Why are you begging with your powerful self? Why do you keep looking for stuff that's showing up in numbers, showing up in movies, showing up on billboards sometimes, showing up in conversations, confirming, advising, should be empowering, should be giving you guidance. Do you hear what I'm saying? I was just having a conversation with a loved one the other night who had a dream, and I didn't know why. I'm just rambling and talking because I love talking to this person, and we just conversate, and I get a little melancholy, thinking about what I'm doing on these platforms and wondering if it's really impacting people. And that personal thing I said to them about what I was considering doing, and then the person said, oh, I left out a part of the dream. And the part of the dream that they left out was that I was doing a broadcast, and there was over 1,000 people at one time watching the broadcast. Do you think that was coincidental that I started talking about that, not knowing about that part of the dream? And then that person revealed to me that dream. That was, hear me, family, that was a message to me, you don't need to quit. That was a message to me that what just came out of your mouth that you've been concerned about for days, that you've been contemplating for months, there is better, there is greater, there is higher. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do I need to go back after that person told me in the dream and say, oh, I need a sign, show me something, do I stay, continue to do what I'm doing? I'm just so confused. This is another thing people say. I used to tell people this all the time. Why are you confused when you got the answer? The answer showed up. And you still acting like you confused. I knew then, even though I was, still having some challenges emotionally about the thing, that was a message for me. Keep going, keep pushing, keep serving, keep loving, keep giving stuff away for free, millions of dollars worth of information. Listen, do y'all realize that if you take this teaching, do you realize if you take the things that I say to you and actually apply them, you could be wealthy. You could have any job you want. You could have any position you wanted. You could have any man or woman you wanted. Oh, you hear what I'm saying? You could have a dynamic, close relationship with God. You could have a business. You could have any ministry. Oh, you hear me? If you just simply absorb the teaching and applied it. But sometimes from the teacher's perspective, it's like, what is the teacher getting in return when they know consistently from other people that what you're teaching is high level stuff? Catch me. That part of the dream was a confirmation for me. Stay the course. Keep loving people. Keep doing what you're doing. As the old folk would say from Nehemiah's example, stay on the wall. Oh, you hear what I'm saying? Keep going forward. Don't give up. These are answers that's coming to us all the time, family, in all kinds of ways. And we still act like we are confused. Well, I didn't hear a voice. Listen, the voice of God and even the voice of this conscious universe will manifest in various different forms, family. Stop thinking you just got to hear it in your mind, or you got to hear a voice, or somebody got to come up to you and say, "Thus saith the Lord." The Creator is speaking right now while I'm talking. Do you realize that this message right now is a synchronicity, a confirmation for somebody who's watching me now? Do you think this is coincidental? I gotta laugh. Do you honestly think that this is coincidental? There's no way. There is absolutely, positively no way, family, that this is coincidental. I am right now a synchronicity for somebody. This very teaching itself is a synchronicity for somebody. Hear what I'm saying today. It is an answer. It is a word. That same person shared a dream that they had about themselves, so forth and so on. It was a confirmation of synchronicity of what needed to be done and how things needed to be handled after that, family. I am a synchronicity right now, just that quick for somebody. You've been praying, you've been seeking, you've been striving, so forth and so on. This is the answer right here for somebody who's watching me now. So I want to encourage your family on this synchronicity. Recognize this synchronicity, this confirmation. Now, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Now that you've heard what you heard, now that you've seen what you've seen, now that you've had it confirmed, you don't need a fleece like a Gideon in the biblical text. You don't need to see this, that, and the other. This message right here is a synchronicity for somebody to say to you or confirm to you whatever answer you were looking for, thinking about, praying about, meditating on. The answers are being transmitted from me, but also in your environment now. And last but not least, I'm prophesying. I can speak this pretty emphatically, that before this week is out, because you heard this message, and many of you are going to be more aware, you're going to start seeing more of these synchronicities and confirmations in your life. It's here, it's now. Embrace it, accept it, and don't be afraid to do what needs to be done based on the answers that were given to you, that the answers that were confirmed in the synchronicity. Listen, we're in that Lions Gates portal. We're giving in eights. Now you get what you want to give, but I'm asking everybody to give in eights this month. Give your offerings in eights this month. We still have people who tithe to me, and I appreciate that. But give in eights, all right? Also, I want you to, this is my birthday month right here, family. August is my birthday month. I hope y'all got something special prepared for your teacher this month. Okay. I love y'all. I serve y'all tirelessly, whether you do or not do. It's my assignment. All right. But my birthday month is coming up. Remember your teacher in your birthday. And if you want to, ask your friends to give to your teacher, because I really, 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 really am grateful for everything you do. Here, if you want to give a donation tonight, you can. Let's see what this comment says. My God, we're all connected. Yes, 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 yes. Synchronicity. They are real. They are alive, and they are happening in your life every single day. And sometimes people are dull to it because they are more sensually oriented than they are spiritually and mentally and metaphysically connected. But I'm saying right now, watch what I say by the end of this week. Some of y'all, before the clock strikes midnight tonight, you're going to have a synchronicity. It might be a bird singing outside your window. Hear what I'm saying? You might turn on a movie and there's a title of a movie that fits the situation you're in. I need you to hear what I'm saying. Some of y'all going to receive text messages. You're going to receive things in the mail. You're going to receive emails. That's going to be a synchronicity that's related to something in your life. Woo, I felt that. And Almighty, I thank you now for every person who's watching me. They're connected, they're open, they're aware, and they're ready to evolve, transform, and ascend. It is so. So it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. $ AG Green if you want to donate, and $ AG Green Enterprises if you want to use Zelle. Just use the Anthony G. Green at hotmail.com. Let me put that up at the bottom of the screen. Some people prefer to give by Zelle. We're happy whatever you give. And again, I turn around and put it back into this broadcast. I turn around and put it back into what I'm doing here. None of this streaming service I use, all that's not free. We pay for it out of the business account every month. Okay. So your donations are going a long way to support this platform, as well as support me and keep me in a position to be able to be available to you to evolve, transform, and ascend, studying, connecting with God, so forth and so on. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Give me your feedback real quickly on what you thought about the teaching. Your feedback real quickly on what you thought about the teaching. And then I'm going to release you. And if you just came on, we discussed synchronicities. Make sure you go back down the time, go back to this video at the beginning. And if you're on YouTube, you can do the same thing. We've got some powerful, powerful things that we kind of shared. This is part 1. We'll get to part 2 next Wednesday. Okay, what is next Wednesday? That's not my birthday, so I'll be on here. Anybody else want to share with me what you thought about the message and presentation tonight? And don't forget, while people are preparing to type now, don't forget to download the Patreon app so you can get notifications when we go live. I got one person who said they're interested in me doing a video on the Lionsgate portal. If I get some more messages and text messages from y'all that you want me to do a video, I will do one live only on Patreon. All right. So I'm going to see who else wants the video, because I'm not going to exert that energy, family, if nobody's going to watch it. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm always glad when it resonates with you, family. And last but not least, there we go. There we go. There we go. See anybody else? Okay, I got a second person that's interested in the video. Okay, I appreciate y'all. So like I said, if I get some more, I want a few more people to chime in. If I get some more people that's interested, excuse me, I'm going to make a live video. We're going to stream live in our spiritual community. If I do it, it'll be the first time we're streamed live from there. I put up pre-recorded videos and other posts, but it'll be the first time. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful comment. We got another one who says they're interested. Okay. Again, don't forget to download the Patreon app so you can get a notification I will announce it on, well, let's see. How many of y'all keep up with the AG Green Now page on Facebook? We got another one there. How many of y'all keep up with the page? Let me see a yes or no in the comments. Just be honest. If you don't keep up, you don't keep up. Because I want to post it there so you'll know, because we don't have a text system set up. The email list is still small. I don't think all y'all on the AG Green Now email list either. Otherwise, I could just send out an email and you would get the email blast and you would get it when we go live. I just want you to know that when I go live, so we can show up for the first time, you can chat in there. Everything is just in the Patreon community. All right. So who checks? I know Linda Nelson checks the page because she likes stuff on there. Anybody else check the AG Green Now page? Hey, I told you, Linda. I know you check it. Linda checks it. She shares the video. She comments. Even if she doesn't make it on live, she's still there, and her wonderful daughter as well. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? I would most likely place an announcement there. If not, family, check your emails. That's right. You'll get a notification for Patreon when I am live talking about the Lions Gate portal. Okay. Krista says she gets the notifications. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. I'm releasing you with the shalom blessing. Shalom, shalom, peace, wholeness, and prosperity. Nothing missing and nothing broken. It is so, and so it is. Thank you so much for tuning in to Spiritual Awakening with yours truly, Dr. A.G. Green. Love you. Take advantage of this portal. Manifest your greatest desires. Your life is shifting even now as I speak, and is shifting more in the upcoming days. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.